So we've been busy creating something, haven't we? Which is, I suppose, we're developing a podcast. We've got a podcast that's going to help employers, I suppose, engage with young people in the right way. We've got a microsite as well. Ultimately, we're creating content that's going to help employers engage with the next generation of talent in the best way that they can. So let's talk a bit more about that, because it's been quite fun working on it.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, what we want to do is give people the tools needed to deliver best-in-class recruitment campaigns and best-in-class strategies to engage the next generations of talent. Because at the end of the day, that's why we exist, is to help people when they are in education and when they're leaving education, or if they're slightly out of education, to find the pathways that are right to them. And we are really firm believers that we've got some information and insight and knowledge that we can give to organisations to help them do that in the best way possible, ultimately.
And Tristan, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, totally agree that that's part of the mission of the organisation, and I think it's a key moment right now with an increase in the number of 18-year-olds in the population, and the opportunity for organisations to really go out and capture imagination and run really good recruitment campaigns to those young people and help inspire choice, I think is something that we want to be at the forefront of helping with. And why wouldn't we do that? We're all in this kind of sector because we want to help young people and employers connect.
And actually, I think typically, or this isn't always the case, but small teams, not necessarily massive budgets, to actually solve what is a big challenge, which is getting young people to join their organisation. Often, of course, it's their first step into their career. So I think to be able to give people that advice, it's not gated or anything like that. It's ultimately, we've got stuff to share that's actually going to help teams that may be small but also with limited budget actually make the most of what they've got. And if our advice can help them do that, then happy days.
Yeah, absolutely. Making it free to air, making it accessible, and you're right. There will be some organisations who are really lucky where the HR recruitment department have a really strong link to marketing, but there'll be others where that just isn't possible. So if we can kind of act as that bridge, or act as that marketing department for that recruitment team, then that's what we want to do. And I think it's important that we do that.
And then Connor, it's like, I think given not going to unis, access to the community, that's invaluable, right, to share with people.
Yeah, because we can get first-hand insight in terms of what works, doesn't work, and I guess what they're looking for as well, or what they had been looking for when they were looking, if they're already past that stage and they're within their apprenticeship, like our ambassador community. What was it they were looking for? What was it they utilised? What was it they did? And using those learnings to, to explain to clients how to engage this audience at the end of the day. There's no better way to find that out, right?
Yeah,
Definitely.
That's a really important point, isn't it? Because I think that we're all probably guilty of making assumptions about audiences, and sometimes we just don't have the resource, the access, the time to actually look into it and find out whether those assumptions are correct. And that's where we can come in, especially with the ambassadors, really quick fire kind of sense check of ideas, concepts, and actually get proper genuine feedback which you can act upon.
Yeah, actually we did something recently where it was, because there's lots of talk about how much time young people spend online naturally. So actually we decided just to dive into the WhatsApp group and say, guys, can you do a screenshot of your screen time on your mobile? And that was just really nice, very quick, but also just kind of raw but really insightful content that we then shared on our blog. So we're definitely looking to do more of that kind of stuff. What other things are people going to be able to access when they sign up to this?
I think one of the big ones is sort of like workshop event content. What we really want to do is not just give you audio, podcasts, and not just blogs, but actually sort of hands-on experiences, be it online events where we maybe do workshops, in-person events where we do workshops. We don't just want to talk at people. We want to involve people at the end of the day, and we want to make sure that whatever we give people has some actionable takeaways at the end of the day, and things that they feel like they've learned and things they're able to execute. So that sort of workshop based content is going to be really important to us.
You're absolutely right, and I think what's really important as well is it's as much, if not more, about people also coming together. So I think when you look at the early career space, it's, I think, often seen, not the case all the time, often seen as a stepping stone to someone else. But goodness me, if there's an area of someone's career where it's about you need to be an expert at actually helping people take the first step in their career, it's going to be in the early career space. So we create this community of people that can spend time with each other, and the value we've seen it over the years, the value that individuals can give to each other when they're talking. So I've done this, or I've been in the same boat. It's like, that's invaluable. So if we can give people a chance to, meet up over lunch or over a quick drink or over a panel discussion or a workshop, then happy days, because ultimately it's within our interests to kind of elevate the early career space
100%
as a profession.
Yeah, I mean that kind of speaks to that sector collaboration we were talking about earlier as well. Around bringing in all that expertise, all of that content into one place, and making it free to air and open to people to use. There's a good example in the construction sector where organisations that maybe traditionally wouldn't have come together and shared ideas have done that, and it's been really beneficial just getting people into the sector in general. So I think things like that, being able to collaborate with different sectors and employers and put that somewhere where it's accessible, so other people can learn from it and share in that success is really exciting, actually.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also it's great to we want people to come to us saying, I want to contribute, because people have so many experiences to share. I think we don't want it just to be us talking about things. We want to get people into the studio, online, at events to contribute, because there's no doubt there'll be topics or challenges that they have faced and want to share it with others to help others. And I think often it can be a lot of the gloss is shared, and this is how we did this successful campaign, because that manifests itself in awards or going to big events where you're going, this is an amazing thing that I did, but actually it's sharing the challenges that you faced and how you've addressed those challenges. That is the only way in which the early careers profession is going to evolve at the same speed that the next generation of talent is evolving, especially in this day and age with obviously the massive changes in technology that have happened and will absolutely happen over the next few years.
Yeah, I think it's that thing about, we say, this is what works, but the only reason we know that and people know that is because they've tried different things, we've tried different things that didn't work. And that's where the learning comes from. So that, I think that's a really important point as well.
Yeah.